Kings of War Battle Report, Northern Alliance versus Varangur, the Battle of the Northerners. Let's go!
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos. Do consider speeding up this video with the YouTube settings to consume this content or other YouTube content in a fraction of the time.
Alright guys, I've decided to make a battle report out of this battle, Northern Alliance versus Varangur, because there was quite a lot of things to glean from this game. And in fact, my Northern Alliance is still heavily under construction in terms of the models, so I do have quite a lot of proxies, so apologies in advance. And the pictures are not the best because I thought I was just taking pictures for record purposes, but at the end of the game I thought that it would translate into a lot of learning points for a battle report, so I decided to make a video out of it. So let's get on with it. This is my Northern Alliance list that I've tested a few games with. I like it so far. There might be further tweaks, but he has tweaked only once so far. I used to run 4 troops of Dwarven Clan warriors and I found them too slow, so I lowered it to 2 troops, juggled something so that I could fit 2 snow foxes. Those 2 snow foxes would accompany and babysit the 2 Hearthguard regiments that I have in this list. And then on top of that, I have 3 regiments of pack hunters. A lot of people seem to be running them, and I know why, because they're pretty cheap units. 135, they can shoot, they can fight pretty decently. They are what I call discount Glade Stalkers. They're pretty cheap, right? And on top of that, they have stealthy to win a shooting battle. If they are in cover, you're hitting me at -2. I charge at decently as well with Thunderous 1. Okay, hitting on 4s, not 5 for a shooting unit. 12 attacks, right? So next up, I have Hrim. Then I have a regiment of Ice Elementals. No Foxes I've mentioned. Ice Queen with Heal 5. Thane with Telena Standard and Binchan 2. Thane on Frostfang with Hex 2. Half Elf, but okay, this is part of the formation. 2 Berserker Troops and 1 Frostclaw Rider Regiment. Okay, totaling 17 drops. 15 of them score, right, quite high for 2300 points. And I could maximize this partially because I take some cheap drops in the Dwarven Clan Warriors, being 75 points, even cheaper than the Snow Foxes. And then on top of that, I got quite a lot of units at 100 plus points. Pack Hunters, Ice Elemental Regiments, Thane on Frostfangs, even the formation, all of them are 100 over points. Yep, I really like the formation because the half-elf Berserker troops hit like a truck for being a troop. 15 attacks, Thunderous 1, and they get Crush 1 from the formation. I'm not sure if I think they're already fearless, and they can get +1 nerf from rallying from the Frostclaw Riders. The Frostclaw Riders also get a +1 pip of nerf themselves from the formation, and I bought a shooting attack on them. So off with my opponent's list, it's a Varangur list, and it starts off with 2 Draugr regiments, 2 Night Raider regiments. These are the counterparts to Pack Hunters. Pack Hunters. And they, at the base profile, they cost 5 points more. And then, but he got the Wolf Handlers upgrade on both of them. So this gives Aura Vicious Melee to Tundra Wolves only. There's no Tundra Wolves in the list, but all auras affect themselves. So the Night Raiders themselves gets Vicious Melee. And they get Scout, which is pretty good for this unit because they do not have steady aim. Okay, he has a Human Tribesman Horde with Fury, Fallen Horde with Broad Strength, 2 mounted Sons of Korgan regiments, both with Brutal upgrade, 1 with J-Boots, 1 with Elite, 2 Snow Fox regiments, 2 Megas, pretty heavily kitted out. Okay, I'll let you read the kit over here. The Lord has Brutal and the Brutal Aura, and Brutal +1 Aura. and Sacred Horn to extend the aura to 9 inches. And then the Thane on Frostfang has Brutal as well. All in all, 14 drops, but only 11 of them score because of these 3 individuals over here. My one comment was that a lot of points were spent on the individuals. Perhaps you could shave off some points there. Alright, before we go to the battle, a quick shout out to my local game store.
If you're from the Asia Pacific region, do consider checking out Hammer House website for your hobby needs. They carry a wide range of miniatures and hobby supplies, including Mantic, Vallejo, Scale 75, and Green Stuff World products.
Alright, so off to the battle. We're playing Salt the Earth, which I think is a very interesting scenario because it asks a very difficult question whether you want to burn the token that you are controlling at this moment of time. Of course, you burn it thinking that you might lose it in the future. Okay, my opponent started placing the objective tokens first. So objective tokens, you hold it till the end of the game. He started placing tokens on the corner of the table. So I marked these 2 dots, red circles here, but they're actually much further back. Just 3 inches off the side and the back of the table. I think it's currently quite in vogue in my local community to put the tokens at the corner. It asks the question, do you want to sacrifice a unit to hold a token for points? And the unit does not contribute for the rest of the game. And I think this tactic doesn't work well against me because I have quite a high number of drop at 15 scoring units, 17 in total. And I don't mind throwing away my 2 Dwarven troops to hold them, which is what I did this game. Okay, as I have quite a bit of proxies, let me just label all the units as well. So my opponent put 2. I think I tend to put closer to the center. And then he put one of the tokens somewhere here, and I put the other one. So these 2 are back, but not so far back. I want the side, so I chose this side. Partially because I know I can hold the 2 tokens. The other partially is because I was hoping this building would affect his Night Raider's ability to scout into the forest. Perhaps it sort of worked a little bit because he has split up his Night Raiders. So that's why I like to take 3 Pack Hunters, because when you take 2, right, you tend to want to put 1 on each side to support each side. But then 12 shots alone would not do a lot. But 24 shots together or even 36 shots will do a lot. So I have, with 3 units, I can have an option of putting 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Or even 3 on one side, which is pretty much what I did here. 3 units of Hunters. 1, 2, 3. Pretty much on the left side when Frostclaw regiments shoot as well. Okay, so one other thing in deployment is that he deployed his Snow Foxes in front. So chaff that are fragile should be deployed behind because they risk getting shot off if they are in front. So if you notice my own Snow Foxes, they're there to babysit the Hearthguard. So they're behind the Hearthguard, and the Hearthguard has a 5mm frontage higher than the Snow Fox. So what happens is when my Snow Fox move forward, they're aligned to the outside edge of the Hearthguard. So this inside gap is hopefully small enough that only at most an individual can charge in. Right, so let's move on to turn 1. Okay, so turn 1, I push things up, and over here, the 3 units shot at the Snow Foxes and killed it. It's also not within the realm of impossibility. I would average 4 to 5 wounds, and that would be a 6 to 7 twice to kill. Okay, I pushed these Pack Hunters up to this token to contest it as well. So now we're 2 unit strength each, with nothing else able to charge these Pack Hunters. My Pack Hunters should be able to take 1 hit from the Night Raiders, at most wavered, and it's within inspiring of the Thane. So that was the thought process there. One shot behind, I purposely deployed the Hrim here because I knew I could use this building to block charges. Okay, with my Hearthguard and Snow Foxes here, for example. Okay, this channel will be small enough that things can't charge my Hrim at a 75mm frontage, and I could charge out. This building also protects me a little bit from flanking forces. Okay, he did drop his Fallen quite late in the deployment, and so I responded by having Hrim and a bit of units here to face off against the Fallen. Okay, so turn 1, because there's one token here, right, at the right corner, and here's one token here. So with that Fallen being a wild card here, because it's pretty much a very strong force on the right side of the map, I decided, okay, if he tries to make a rush for my token, I will at least make it a bit tougher for him by dancing in and out of the forest. So I pulled my ice elementals out of the forest so that might delay his charging. And if he has fully committed down this lane, right, then my dwarf troop is on the token, so I'll just burn it off. Okay, so yeah, let's move on to bottom of, before that. So my 2 individuals started here, and because I thought there would be a lot of things happening on the left, so I started pulling my individuals towards the left. I made one mistake of exposing this Thane between the 2 units. He can shoot at this window without cover. So which is exactly what he did. His 2 wizards, one mounted, one on foot, shot through this window without cover. My Thane took 4 wounds and got wavered. Okay, over here, his pack hunters. His pack hunters shot at the Hearthguard, dealing 2 wounds. Okay, overall, I felt that his advance was very cautious, a bit too cautious, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Let's talk about the left side. Sorry, the right side. So the Fallen has decided to come aid the center. So his Snow Foxes moved out and burned the token over here. He is now just slightly within 16 inches of the Hrim, right? So this building is already hindering him a little bit, because if he moves too close to it, then he has no line of sight onto Hrim. Okay, if he tilted this way more, okay, then he might risk not being able to see his forces over here. Right, and if he moves here, I could easily align my things such that he can't charge me as well. So yeah, this building really helped me a little bit in protecting myself from the Fallen. So what else? Okay, so the pack hunters over here decided, his Night Raiders decided to charge into my pack hunters. I could eat that charge, and now this one has a flank. Okay, over on the left side with the Snow Fox gone, and I have so many units here, right? He decided he couldn't trade, so he just held back for a while. Okay, so what I did in return on the left side, I start positioning my hard-hitting stuff, the Berserker troop and the Thane, on the hill so that I get charged down with Thunderous. My staff pushed up, my hunters pushed up so that it could contest this token. If I think it's out of charge range of the Sons of Khorgan. If the Lord charged, the Thane charged, unit strength 1 doesn't win unit strength 2. So I don't want to let him burn the token because I think I can win this. Okay, so another thing is he should threaten his Sons of Khorgan 16 inches. Right, so if you do the math, I can be 3 inches away from the token. So you should do the covering that your 16 inches will cover 3 inches away from the token. Yep, does that make sense? Okay. Yep, so this Night Raiders got double charged by the hunter in the front and flank, died. And so my middle was very cautious. I held back because I know first thing, this token is not going anywhere, it can't be burnt. Okay, second thing, I move my Hrim backwards, it's out of 16 inch from the Fallen. Okay, I know that I can't let the Draugr charge my Hearthguard, because if that happens, then he can block me while his Sons of Khorgan and Horde of Tribesmen can come up to charge. Okay, if I move my Snow Fox up at this point, the Draugr can win the fight against the Snow Foxes. It might even kill it in one punch. Okay, even if it doesn't kill it in one punch, if we trade blows, he has Iron Resolve and higher nerf point. Okay, so I don't want to trade my Snow Foxes at this point because you'll lose the trade with the Draugr. Okay, and so I know I'm winning the left. I just have to wait for the left to win and swing towards the center. I have 2 units of Pack Hunters here. There's going to assist the center anyway. Okay, In regards to his shooting, my wizard, my Ice Queen healed the Thane. The Thane decided to hide in behind the Hearthguard, right, by backing up. Alright, so with that, now that I know that his Fallen on the right side is aiming to support the center, I poke my Ice Elementals back in again. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, on top of that, top of 2, my units shot at it, and I wavered the Thane on a high nerf roll. So things are not looking good for my opponent. Okay, so you can see the Dwarven troop is firmly holding the token on this corner. The other Dwarven troop is actually moved up a little bit because I know that I'm quite safe. I'm not going to be shot off. I might as well present one more threat angle at my opponent. And near the late game, I can just start moving back towards the token. Right? So bottom of 2, the Rogger is out of charge range of the Hearthguard, so they decided to double charge the Hunters over here. On top of that, Drain Life. So the Drain Life did quite a bit and wavered my Hunters. These were the fresh ones, okay, because the injured one is over here. And so these are fresh, newly injured. Okay. Nonetheless, I still have 4 unit strength on this token, and he only has 2 unit strength. The other one is probably too far away, and he can't burn that token. With the Thane wavered on the left side, he decided to hold back even more. Now, the Fallen decided to move forward. Okay, so good thing I poked my Ice Elementals into the forest this turn, so it projects a 12-inch threat. So it probably ends somewhere here. Okay, because of that 12-inch threat, he couldn't move his Fallen to come here, for example. Okay, because needing 2 pivot means he can't march, right? He can only move 8 inches. He was somewhere here, 8 inches. It would still be squarely in the front arc of my Ice Elementals. Okay, so this Ice Elementals poking back in the forest protected the Giant somewhat. He is still threatening the flank, but it couldn't move all the way here. If it moved all the way here, it would threaten the flank of the Giant, the Hearthguard, this Hearthguard over here, a lot of things. Okay, so his shooting, with this Thane being hidden, he decided to shoot into this Hearthguard. Now it's on 5 wounds. Now normally 5 wounds, that would spell a bit of trouble for them already. They need to get into combat soon, if not they might die. But I got some healing, so I'm not as panicked. Okay, some of the wizard went into the Drain Life, so I didn't cop as much damage. I think 1 lightning bolt, 1 Drain Life. Okay, yep. So with this Hunters holding, though wavered, I'm able to flank charge this. And I decided to charge this Berserker troop in. They do charge very far, up to 15 inches. Because I want this Hunter to continue to shoot, and this Hunters to shoot, and this Frostclaw Regiment to shoot. Okay, so top of 3, let's start from the left. So my 3 units shot at the Lord. Last turn was a lucky waiver, now is an expected waiver with the added damage. Okay, in the forest, the Berserker charged downhill, but it has no Pathfinder. So get this, you only get Thunderous Charge 1 from the hill if you have an unhindered charge. So you don't add a Thunderous Charge 1 regardless, because the Berserker does have TC 1. You don't get TC 2 because of the heal and then -1. You actually don't get +1 TC from the heal, and on top of that, you charge in the forest, you lose your innate TC. So I'm only swinging at Crushing 1. But that being said, the Night Raiders are defense 3. Okay, so I don't need the extra Crushing anyway. Okay, so it didn't kill, which is a bit of a bummer, but okay, 15 attacks should be 7.5 hits, 6 wounds. Not expected as well. Okay. But the Hearthguard did flank the other unit, and definitely that kills. The Snowfox move up to Chaff as well, and I did reposition my Hearthguard wrongly. It should go this way. Definitely things can't fit within this window. But I pivoted this way, thinking that because this unwieldy horde, right, when it swings around, it will not be able to clip my corner. But I did not confirm that with my opponent. When we tested it on his turn, he could actually touch the corner. But luckily he couldn't fit because his horde would have touched the base of this Night Raiders. So a slight mistake for me for over there. Operation Snow Fox is in effect. The two Snow Foxes move up to block from being charged. And on top of that, Shrimp did this trick with the building. So buildings are really great for, or blocking terrain are really great for doing this kind of tricks. So firstly, between the Snow Fox and the building is too small a channel for any of these units to charge me. On top of that, the Fallen was threatening my flank, right? So now I angled my Shrimp that the Fallen is in my front, but it couldn't fit charging me because of the building here. Between the building and Shrimp, he couldn't fit. So he can't charge Shrimp. Nothing can charge Shrimp. So that's a great trick just by using a blocking terrain. Okay, my Ice Elementals on the right did move up a little bit, still keeping the Fallen in the front, but I'm Ice Breathing the Snow Foxes, because if I could kill it, then it wouldn't threaten my token. A Berserker moved up behind. So I whiffed all my shots on the Snow Foxes. So but now 3 Snow Foxes and Fallen double charged the Ice Elementals and killed it. Since it can't charge Shrimp, right, might as well charge the Ice Elementals. Then it reformed in a way that it's facing both these units. I was like, okay, fine. Dwarven Troop is still here with a token down here. Alright. In the center, he could only charge at my Snow Foxes, so Knight Raiders went into the Snow Foxes, and the Horde went into the Snow Foxes. Right? And then the Wounded Hunters here got shot off by magic. Okay. And then over here, the Sons of Khorgan decided to swing to assist the center because the Lord is not gonna be alive much longer. Okay. I also did this thing where why did I do this? Okay, I moved my Frostclaw Regiment over here to make way for the Berserkers to charge, and it must be angled this way so that my hunters don't have to move, because if they move they'll get -1 to hit. So because my Frostclaw is facing this way, that allowed his Sons of Khorgan to move this way as well without being charged at. Okay, one other thing, the Sons of Khorgan here, he moved up aggressively the turn before. My Shrimp moved up and used the terrain to block charges, but I can charge it the next turn. And on top of that, when he backed up, right, it's still within charge range of Shrimp. Okay, because it could only back up 4 inches, Shrimp can still charge 14. That means they were less than 10 inches apart. Yep, so it backed up, but it can still be charged. That is the takeaway. So what happened after that? This Thane has a flank on the Horde of Tribesmen, together with the Hearthguard going in. Okay, the Hearthguard also took some damage, 3 damage. Okay, this one was 4 from previous. I took up to 5, I healed 1, become 4. I healed it again, it went down to 1. So on average, I healed 1 and 3. So on average, I healed 2. Pretty expected. Let's talk about the right side first. So I decided to double charge the Snow Foxes. Berserker hindered, while the troop in the flank, Dwarven troop in the flank, and not hindered. So that's 20 attacks just from the dwarves. Another 50 attacks from the Berserkers. Killed it off. So it's the Fallen can't see my dwarves, right? Could only see Hearthguard and Berserkers. Okay, my dwarf is facing this way. So I figured if he killed my Berserkers and face this way, my dwarf will just go and burn the token, and then his Fallen is very out of position. And if he killed the Berserkers and face this way, then my dwarf can go back and hold the token as well. So having the extra unit does help in trading, right? So I just killed off his Snow Foxes, so he has 1 less piece to trade with. Okay, over in the center, my Hearthguard killed his Knight Raiders and turned to face the Fallen. And on top of that, Fallen only has Pathfinder. This will give him a hindered charge, the obstacle. Shrimp rode hot, charged into the Sons of Khorgan, 1-rounded it. I rode hot on the number of attacks and probably the wounding and the nerf as well. Wavered is not out of the realm of impossibility, but kill is definitely a bit harder my Hearthguard. On top of that, Hrim was within 6 inch of this unit when it charged, and it gives the frozen status. The Thane in the flank is 10 attacks with Tundra Fighters, wounding on 2s cause it charged off the hill, and vicious. So 10 attacks, 20 attacks, and I think I enchanted it, right? So 10 attacks, 20 attacks, all wounding on 2s. Yep, but I failed to route it. Yeah, but things are not too bad. Things have been going quite well my way so far. I shot off another barrage, 3 turns of barrages on the Thanes. On Frostfang, finally killed it off. Okay, so let's see. Before I move to the next slide, the Thane has its butt. It's actually facing this way, but because of the maw overhanging, I have to turn it sideways. It's actually facing towards the Horde, and its butt is in the forest, so it's getting a rear charge from this Sons of Korgan. The Fallen goes over here. Yep, because no matter what, he won't get the token, right? So he decided to assist the center. And his Lord charged into the Hrim to hold it up, because this is more than 6 inches apart. So that means even if I kill the Lord and roll a 6, I wouldn't be able to contact the human tribesman. But it is already heavily wounded. It swung back at my Hearthguard, which already had 3 wounds. He did roll pretty poorly and not deal enough wounds to route it. It is on 16-18 nerf. So that's exactly what happened. Yeah, it's on 10 wounds or 9 wounds and did not die. The Fallen did not kill this Hearthguard as well. I did heal it down to 1 wound, and then he's going for a hindered charge, so not expected to kill as well. The Lord did put a bit of wound on Hrim. The Sons of Korgan killed the Thane and turned around. And so I stopped taking pictures after that. So just to give you an idea of how the game would pan out, I have 3 units here holding the token. My Dwarven Troop is holding the token. My Dwarven Troop on the other side is holding the token. Even if I lost the center, I'm still at 3-1. Even if I lost the center and I'm losing this part, I could burn this token off at the end and I'll still be 2-1. Alright. I could send 1 hunter in. He killed in return. I can send the second hunter in. He killed in return. I could keep my 3rd unit seated here, burn the token and shoot at him. So at the end of the day, if he keeps facing the left side, he will have no token to earn as well. Yep, so that was how the game panned out. So we called the game over here. So let's talk about some learning points. So objective token placements. So place on map corners only if you have the superior scoring drop count. Superior drops, especially scoring drops. And on top of that, units that you don't mind leaving behind. So in the tempo of the game, always ask, is no one charges, who wins? If you don't push out aggressively, who wins? And the answer is usually the army with the better shooting. He will be happily sitting back to shoot you down. Okay, so in this situation, push up aggressively. Right, losing on the left, you still have to do something, because if not, you just get shot down. The center, you would win, so push up aggressively to force the engagement. Okay, when you play the game, usually you decide which part of the board you want to win. Is usually a tall order to expect to win on all parts of the board. So I could consider I lost the right side because his Fallen has free reign over there. But because I have enough pieces, I also hold him back from getting tokens. Okay, so I was wondering if perhaps his Fallen would have been better served on the left. Right, Salt the Earth, really difficult. When do you burn the tokens? So sometimes you burn the token when you are charging out and you are sure you won't be coming back for the tokens, and you are sure that the opponent might get it if you don't burn it. Because if the opponent can never reach it, right? Especially if you charge out aggressively, they don't have flying units or they have slow units. If they don't have chance to get to it, then it's also fine not burning, because you might clear the entire area and have units left to come back for the token. And because you have to predict the future, you have to predict 1 turn before you lose the token. That's the challenge for Salt the Earth. Yeah, winning the Chaff War, definitely Keep the fragile chaff behind your main units until they're ready to be sacrificed. Thicker chaff can kill off the thinner chaff, right? The Draugr can take out the snow foxes, which is why I don't want to trade the Draugr with the snow foxes. So I have a ton of cheap-ish units, 100 plus point units that I don't mind forcing the engagement with the Draugr, right? To make sure that my hammers get delivered and screened, so that my hammers get first strike. Okay. Yep, so if you're trying to flank the opponent, if they have a blocking terrain on their side, things might get tricky. If they do movement shenanigans like my shrimp, it could block you from charging for multiple turns, and that is already profit for them. Okay, and then you'll be on the losing end of that. Yep, so use terrain. Blocking terrain to me is the most important piece of terrain on the table because it's a negative space. You cannot land there, you cannot charge there. A piece of terrain can cause you not to attack. So imagine that you're supposed to charge this unit next turn. It's not that I position in a way that you deal less damage, but you can't even attack at all. So take note of these terrains. So, yep. So overall, in this battle report, I hope you enjoyed learning some tricks you can do with blocking terrains, talking about the tempo of the game and the chaff, and where you want to win. So focus on that area. Okay, and salt the earth and loot tokens in pillage or objective tokens in general, where you want to place them and how do you want to win them. Okay, so that's why I like to cover this battle report. So hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something out of it. So quick shout out to my patrons before I go: 1 Pip Anonymous, 2 Pip Thomas Douglas, and 4 Pip Alessandro Serpe. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, do watch another one. Do help me with the algorithm gods by liking, subscribing, hit the bell, leave a comment if you learned something new. If you like the battle, leave a comment. Right, leave a review on my podcast as well. You can find my podcast on major podcast apps, Apple, Spotify, and so on. Okay, so if you like my mission is to bring content to help us get better at the game, be it battle reports or podcasts. So in the downtime that we don't get to play, because we all want to play, and it will really suck if we think about playing the game all week. We roll up to gaming night and we make a simple mistake, and then it just ruin the whole game. So hopefully by watching videos, battle report videos, and podcasts, listening to my podcast, you could avoid making these mistakes or even improve your game to make your weekly games more enjoyable. So if you are in agreement with my mission, do consider supporting me on Patreon. With that, I've come to the end of this battle report, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.